In the health tech side, I was with a company, Global Space Technologies. Global Space Technologies was at that time, still is, a pioneer in the platform which connects doctors, pharma companies, stockists, retailers, and the patients. So in COVID, it was a big hit.
How do you see this whole ecosystem now changing the whole healthcare world?
Fact of matter that people are going in for health checks itself is a very, very good for our population. And why do I say that for our population? 85 to 90% of our population expenses or the healthcare expenses of the population is out of pocket. So here the focus has to be predominantly on trying to do a preventative sort of health check. But since they don't do it,
Hello, welcome to the show, sir.
thank you.
Sir, just tell us about your journey, sir.
My journey is riddled in almost 40 years of curiosity, work, and something which you can call it as a workaholic.
Right.
So I am a true workaholic. So I also work and I am also alcoholic in one sense, but then that's aside. So I started my journey as a medical representative, right, with a feet on the street in 42 degrees centigrade in some of the hot temperature cities. But then after working in pharma for quite some time, I worked all my level up, all the way up. I became the vice president for Zydus Cadila and Zydus Healthcare and Cadila Pharma. So I call it both Zydus Cadila. But then somewhere it struck me that, okay, maybe I was getting into just a single well. So I thought, okay, let me see. So I moved on to Diagnostics. I was a director with SRL Ranbaxy Diagnostics, took the entire pathology to a retail level all across the city, because earlier it was just mom and pop stores, but I sort of democratized the whole thing so that people get quality diagnosis. From there, I moved to Bourn Hall, UK for a single specialty clinics in IVF, and then Apollo Hospitals. I was a CEO for their dental, dialysis, and other verticals. And after some time, when COVID hit, I moved around. I went to UK, I went to Dubai, and all those things. When I came back, as usual for everybody, the COVID event, and then sit. So that's when I started looking at trying to reinvent myself. And the reinvention happened in trying to go to the health tech side as well as in the med tech side. In the health tech side, I was with a company, Global Space Technologies. Global Space Technologies was at that time, or it still is, a pioneer in the platform which connects doctors, pharma companies, stockists, retailers, and the patients. So in COVID, it was a big hit. We took the company to MSME IPO, and then finally it's listed on the BSE. Then the medtech was the flavor of the season. So I run now 3 startups. One is in the ophthalmology space, where we manufacture vision correction surgery equipments. Then another is in skincare diagnostics, which is trying to replace the biopsies through a non-invasive way. And the third one is in the mental wellness space. And mental wellness space is a new thing,
Right.
which is affecting everybody.
So on a funny note, sir, after 40 years of experience, I just want to say like Kapil Sharma कि कभी आपने सोचा था कि आप मेरे टॉक शो पे आओगे?
नहीं, मैं तो सबसे पहले ये भी नहीं सोचा था कि मैं टॉक शो पे जाऊंगा, क्योंकि मेरे को टॉक करना आता नहीं.
अरे नहीं सर,
मेरे को सिर्फ काम करना आता है. But having said that, yes, it is good. Your introduction was very good in terms of what you have been doing, and this I can say that with pride for you is that for quite some time, except for the last maybe 5 years or so, it has come up. Otherwise, in our times, there was no such thing
Right.
wherein we could express the thing. So whatever we used to express to the bosses, and our bosses will say, "Acha, तेरे को ये मालूम है?" Okay, but Joking, but I had some very good bosses also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as you mentioned, ki, like you have worked in medtech space, pharma space, right, health tech space, hospital side as well, right? And India is building a new ecosystem, which is like routine checkups, right, routine diagnosis, or I think it's really helping the pharma space as well. So, how do you see this whole ecosystem now changing the whole healthcare world?
Uh, the fact of the matter that people are going in for health checks itself is a very, very good thing for our population. And why do I say that for our population is 85 to 90% of our population expenses or the healthcare expenses of the population is out of pocket.
Right.
So here the focus has to be predominantly on trying to do a preventative sort of health check. But since they don't do it, right, they suffer from some clinical or subclinical issues. But why we are seeing a lot of explosion of, let's say, in only cancer? Primarily because the better the diagnosis or the more the awareness of doing these health checks, doing these blood tests and so on, right, that has brought to the fore the problem which the person faces. And therefore today diseases are getting detected much faster, and the person is becoming aware of that problem which he is facing, and this has resulted in the intervention by the doctor to ensure that he is able to treat the patient. So we are moving on the wellness curve quite good, right? Treatment is happening. That is another big and good thing. And the contributor to this has also been the insurance companies, which have made it in some way mandatory or as a incentive for the people to do the blood test or to do their health check at least once in a year. And that has paved the way for a good ecosystem in which we are building, wherein the person is able to get his diagnosis, get to know what is his problem, and go to the next level of whether it is a curative thing or whether it is a preventive thing.
Right. So as time is progressing, right, there is a buzzword, not a buzzword, right, the real need of a present time, that is like AI in the diagnosis, right, as you mentioned that you are associated with one of the technology company who do such kind of entrepreneurial stuff, right, innovation stuff. So how do you see this whole ecosystem where AI is helping in the diagnosis stuff? Because when AI will help in the diagnosis, it will help the doctor as well, it will help the pharma fraternity as well, and I think because of that, that whole ecosystem will create a new system where person will be a bit aware about his health. At the same time, it will be he or she will be clear about his or her own health as well, right?
I think you have hit the nail on the head. Uh, Primarily, I can give you two examples of
Right.
that. And incidentally, both the company happens to be the startup in which I am there. So one is, excuse me, the one is the skin cancer diagnostics. Now here, what we are trying to do is we are trying to remove the biopsy part, which is an interventional or invasive part, and just to do a thing which is on the surface morphology as well as one layer down. So the person's entire lesion will be captured. Now, what happens in a skin cancer diagnostic? The person has got some lesion here, there, somewhere, etc. They go to a dermatologist. The dermatologist gives some ointment and then some medication and so on. And then when he realizes that, okay, this is really stubborn, right, he says, do a biopsy. The moment they say biopsy, the person goes on, right? Now, biopsy is costly.
Right.
Biopsy is painful in any way, and the biopsy waiting time is 15 days, 20 days, or whatsoever in that sense. So the person with a full blown cancer only can go. But had we had a non invasive diagnostic process or a screening process, as we can call it, the dermatologist would say, एक हफ्ता हो गया, so okay, let me give you go and get this screening done, and I'll come to know. So the person say, okay, screening is not a problem. So they get the screening, and then the person gets it. Now here, how what we are doing, how AI is coming into it. right? We are running this morphology and the images and all through an AI ML program software which is there, and then this AI ML program scans through 100,000 or 150,000 data of biopsy annotated cases, images. And so then it makes marriages and then sees that, okay, stage 1, stage 2, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and all. So what has happened here is that AI has helped in screening a very tough and a very dangerous ailment, which is cancer, and it has increased the possibility of survival to a very large extent. Right. Because faster diagnosis means controllable. Cancer is normally controllable within the first testing. So this is what the thing about this one. So AI plays a very important role in the diagnostics of in the diagnosis. Right. Second example is another startup which is into mental health. Now here in mental wellness, right, you have got blood tests which is for lipid profile, cardiac profile, diabetes profile and whatnot, kidney profile. But have you ever heard of a brain profile?
No.
Brain health profile? No. So how do you know that a person does not have any problem there? Right? So you can have everything. And then it's also proven in the textbooks or wherever in the medical history that mind is one of the main contributor to the body problems. Right. So psychosomatic disorders is what it is called. Right. So in this we have this which is again an AI full stack AI based program which asks you some questions, and those basis of those questions gives your mental wellness status. So then if your mental wellness status is thriving, you're good. If you are balancing, which means you have some problem, but then you are able to manage. But then if you are striving, means you are struggling. If you are in crisis, you need to go to a counselor earliest or a psychiatrist earliest. Now, this has vastly improved the possibility of the entire population coming into whatever the issues are, because as it is in our country, for every 1,25,000 population, there is only one psychiatrist. Right. Whole of India, there is only 700 mental hospitals. So, and I refuse to believe that 140,000 or 1.4 billion population, let's say even 20% or 30% of them who are at the top end working, feeding for the family, studying, exposed to all these social media and all those things, etc., drugs, and then the other is social disaffection, right, breakups, right, sexual problems, not able to perform, and so on and so forth. Right. I refuse to believe that they are not mentally challenged.
Right. I agree.
So AI plays a very big role. It reduces the time when the psychiatrist can do a complete diagnosis, and so it for him he just has to read the report and then start the therapy.
I agree. To I think to conclude this all those stuff, I just want to say that it will strengthen the HCP decision making at the end of the day.
Yes.
Like he will be decision maker at the end of the day, but that kind of a confidence that he has on data, right? Yeah. It will strengthen in the future. So to end this conversation, so in the last, I just want to ask your two statements on this new workforce Gen Z, like how it will change this ecosystem, right? Because it will play a pivotal role in this whole ecosystem.
Yes. I am very bullish on the prospects of the Gen Z taking, okay, let me, because I am a strong nationalist, so taking India to an entirely new stratosphere, right? Why do I say this, and how I have come to this conclusion? I am working with these three startups, and these three startups are the promoters or the founders of this whole thing. They are brilliant tech guys, and they have developed this whole thing, and with a thought that, okay, this is what it has to be, right? And the type of questions and the interactions which we do, I don't recollect whether I used to do it with my bosses or even into that level. So Gen Z has got an entirely different way of looking at things. So that is one thing which is But at the same time, I would also say the twist in the tail, which I always put in, is that the Gen Z has got to channelize their energies, channelize their knowledge, and also control their whole urge to run fast,
Right.
because they feel that life is to run fast, and
Right.
that speed which they think is coming, they equate that speed because they scroll, the
Right.
speed which they scroll and see different facets of people in different frames there, they think their life is also like that.
Right.
So no, they have to be grounded, which I'm sure I've seen a lot of them grounded, because one, two, three, four incidences and instances brings them, because they are very intelligent. They adapt very fast.
Right.
So I have great this thing, because I have learned a lot. This is my second innings, right? At 64, I'm doing startups, which for me is something. Primarily, the force is behind this energy is the Gen Z. So I hope we are going to see much better days in the coming times.
Right, sir. And I think support of uh, guys like you, right, who had this much amount of experience, helped us so that we consider you as an advisor, and you just support us, and we will make it happen as in from the Gen Z community. Okay.
I'm sure that is what my mission is. Therefore, I do pro bono lectures in different colleges. So the recent one was with the Presidency University. Here, this SIES college has asked me to come and speak, and in another 4 5 colleges. So I go there, and it's all pro bono.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much,
So
sir, for being on the show.